for listening. I'm Stephen Edwards, this is Enquiring Minds. Today on the show, famed 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s and present day wrestler Johnny Burt. You may remember him from World of Sport. For my older listeners, he had a successful run in the American promotions in the late 90s. He went down to Mexico for a while. He has performed all over the globe. He's got a story to tell, as we will find out. Spandex and broken hearts and everything in between. So we're going to get to that in a minute. But before that, let's hear from our sponsors. This week, it is a very prestigious institution of higher learning, the University of Ipswich. They are looking for people to take part in a study which will test the effects of taking part in studies on people who take part in studies. And if you're into that, just go to their website and sign up. They'll be happy to get as many people as they can. And now on with today's show.
Don't worry about that noise, lad. It's just my wrists.
You got a lot of nagging injuries?
Aye, nagging injuries. I got more nagging injuries and I got nagging wives, and I've been married 7 or 8 times now.
Well, I can
7 or 8.
sympathise. How long have you been in the business?
When did I start in business? That's a good question. When World of Sport? You remember World of Sport?
Yeah, World of Sport would have been early 70s, late 60s?
20 years before that.
20 years before World
Aye,
of Sport.
20 years before that.
Jesus.
All the way through, lad. One book in a week at least.
Bloody hell, well, you look good for it, I suppose.
Well, thank you. You got to look at it yourself, because no one else is going to, are they? Are they?
Well, I'm pleased to have you here. I've always been a wrestling fan, ever since I was little. I think there's a tendency to look at it with a certain kind of snobbery. I like the art of it, the emotion, the drama, the spectacle. Were you drawn by the same things to the business of wrestling?
Well, what drew me to the game is a bit different from most.
Yeah.
It's a funny story, and I can sum it up. I could do the long one, we'll be here all day, but I'll do the short one. I wanted to wrestle to Bear.
To Bear?
To Bear, yeah. There was this to Bear.
I think I'm going to need the long version of this one.
Back in today, the circus used to have all sorts, and not like now, when all it's got is your freaks and your geeks.
Yeah.
You got your bearded lady, and you got your clowns, and you got your elephants, and you got your giraffes, and you got your tightrope walker, and you got your strongman.
Okay, I'm familiar with the concept of a circus.
All right, yeah.
Where does the bear come in?
So this circus used to come to town once a year.
Yeah.
And they had this great big bloody bear with them, they did.
Just a big, wild
bear that you could just go look at in his little...
Grizzly bear,
He was quite grizzly, yeah. And I used to go look at him in his cage.
Yeah.
Always gave me stink eye, he did. So I says to that bear, one day, bear, got punch you between eyes.
Okay. So how does this transition into wrestling?
Well, you don't just get into ring with bear straight away. Because,
right.
of course, you could wrestle bear back in the day, so it's not that crazy.
Right, yeah, I suppose I've heard of people, as an attraction. Oh, come Saturday night, he's going to wrestle this bear.
Right, yeah.
And that's how you got into wrestling?
Well, you don't just start with bear. You got to start at the bottom, don't you?
With humans?
Well, no, dogs first.
Oh, right,
yeah,
dogs.
Obviously, it goes dogs, humans, your larger apes, and then your bears.
Okay.
And that's that's the circus hierarchy.
That's fascinating. So did you eventually get to wrestle the bear?
I did, lad. I did, yeah.
No kidding.
A sold-out tent in Lincolnshire. It were.
How did you get on?
Because by this point, I'd ran away and joined the circus. And the bear and me, we went 5 rounds. And I've got to tell you, lads.
Yeah?
Beat 7 shades of shit out of me, that bear did.
Oh.
I did not get one offensive blow in.
No?
All time. I think he was on Steads.
Well,
if not, he was on the cocaine.
Well,
because his handler, his name was Jerry.
Yeah.
He was a massive cokehead.
Did you prepare to fight a bear? This wasn't a wrestler.
As much as one can prepare to fight a bear.
Right.
I read Winnie the Pooh.
I'm not
did
sure
my stretches.
Yeah.
By this point, I've been wrestling a good few years.
Right, yeah.
And I've battered a good couple of blocks.
Right.
All over the country.
Right, okay.
I thought fighting a bear, no big problem. Because I'd wrestled fat fellas before. It's just a bigger, fatter fella.
Not
with more hair.
He's evolved to,
I used to
aggressively
work with
survive.
this fella.
Yeah.
His name was Big Terence.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big, hairy fella.
Yeah.
And yet we never called him Tit Bear.
Right.
I don't know why.
Well, probably because
Would have been a good gimmick, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
Terence Bear.
Well, this was at the time.
Terence Teddy Bear could have called
That's
him.
what we could have called him.
Always had Ev for the business, me.
So the bear thing didn't go well.
Didn't go very well at all.
No. So how did you bounce back after that?
Well, there weren't much room to bounce back. You know, as you may know, carnival wrestling's a different beast. Carnival wrestling's it's a world of its own, son.
Right.
Once you've been outplaced by the bear and you've got to go back down to humans and you lose a step.
Yeah.
You find yourself wrestling to a dog every night.
It's a dent in your reputation.
Exactly, and a man can only wrestle a dog so many times.
Well, how did you come back from that? Because I obviously know you come back from that. You were a big star at one point.
I wanted to be the biggest lad, and I'll tell you how I did it. I left and I went overseas to Japan.
Really?
To Japan, where it is proper to sport.
Yeah, I was just about to say there's a certain amount of reverence that they treat wrestling
treat you
in
like
that country.
a proper athlete over there.
Yeah, you know, it's not
even
a bit
the big
of
fat lads.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
not
fat
even
lads
like
into diapers.
fluffy entertainment.
What do you call them, son? What do you call them? The fat lads with the hair.
Sumo wrestlers.
That's them, yeah.
Sumo wrestlers.
You ever been stuck onto a plane with 7 sumos?
I can't say that I haven't.
Yeah, Clad, you think it's going to go down? I says to the stewardess, I says, hey, love, we're not getting into air with these fellas on the plane. I nudged the fella next to me. His name was Dave something. Forget his second name. Never saw him again.
Sumo wrestler.
Sumo wrestler Dave he was.
Yeah.
And I says, hey, if this goes down into Andy's, I'm eating you first, pal, I says.
Right. Okay.
We had a chuckle, we did.
So you get to Japan.
I get to Japan.
And what's that like being a white man in... you were a minority there.
It's a world apart, lads. And you got to remember, this is many years ago.
Yeah.
Many years ago, where they were just
unspecified.
becoming to bustling metropolis that it became.
Right, okay.
You could still buy all your used panties out at vending machines, of course. Trains weren't as fast, though.
It wouldn't be Japan without those vending machines.
Long time ago. Bear in mind, this is where only there were 2 white lads in the whole company in Japan.
And you were still a young wrestler at this point, so, you know, I've heard stories about young wrestlers. They had to really, you know, endure some pretty harsh hazing, some rituals.
See, what happened back in today is you'd go to dojo, and you'd live in the dojo, train in the dojo, and wrestle for the company, but at the same time, you'd be working for the older lads who'd be there. So you'd carry the luggage.
Carry the luggage, definitely.
Make the lunch for them. You'd do the tax returns.
Oh,
and I couldn't read bloody English letters, let alone Japanese ones.
Right.
A lot of the old greats there ended up into spot of bother.
Right, yeah.
Because of me and my accountant.
Accidental tax
And I
fraud.
says to Harashima, I don't know what you expect of me, but I don't know how to count in English, and I don't know how to count in Japanese. So if that lad there loses his home, and his wife, and his kids, how's this on my fault?
Well, I was expecting more, like physical hazing, like the
physical
chopping
hazing, all day and night. They hit you with these sticks of bamboo.
I've heard about this,
And
the caning.
they just cane you. Cane you when you're doing your squats.
It's, it's initiation. See how much you
cane
can
you when
take.
you're doing your running.
See if you can just take it.
Caning when you're asleep.
When you're asleep.
Caning when you're having your breakfast.
Okay.
You'd be out onto town, having a nice lunch with a nice Japanese girl you just met.
And they cane you?
Fella would come up behind cane you, Ned. And of course he couldn't say out about it.
No, because that's
you
the
were
point.
the young
Yeah,
boy.
they were testing your
But
results.
there's only so much man couldn't take.
Right, yeah.
And I says to Sanjay one day, who's hitting me with this thing when I'm trying to get on with this girl, and I says, Sanjay, I'm out on town with a lass here. Because, I'm a young man. I'm trying to get my end away. It's hard enough with the language barrier and that. And is this fella in me head with Big Twig?
And presumably it got worse, because they don't like when you answer back.
Much worse, son.
Yeah, more caning.
More caning. They got more clever with it as well.
How so?
Oh, there were one time we were wrestling a match in Hiroshima.
Yeah.
And I was working this fella called Yeesh. And Yeesh, he were a bit of a mean bastard.
Yeah.
Spoke a bit of English as well. He comes in at once, gets us into headlock, says, your mum's dead.
He says your mother's dead.
He says your mum's dead. They just had a word in the back that your mum's dead.
Right.
Sorry about that. Big drop kick finish. So yeah, he whips me in there. Drops kick. Get back. My mum's not dead. My mum doesn't even know I'm in Japan. Cruel.
So they sort of stepped away from the physical side?
Oh yeah. Well, apart from times they would stab you into shins when you were asleep on the bus.
They would stab you in the shin.
It's a very it's a complicated way of doing things over there.
I've heard of hazing, but
it makes sense when you're in it. Is all I can say.
Okay.
I just thought it were hazing.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to see if you're gonna quit and run home,
And
which
I
you
did not.
So you stayed
Carved
over
myself
there.
out a bit of a career. I did.
Good few years. What was your your gimmick over there? You know, your character?
Oh, heck, gimmicks. Christ, I had gimmicks. Let me think. I was a Wonder Bread gimmick I had for a while there because, of course, they don't eat a lot of bread over into Asia.
Do they not?
Don't drink a lot of milk either, which is quite funny. Yeah, black tea, and loads of black tea. You're on
Wonder
black tea
Bread.
over there. Wonder Bread with one. G.I. Joe with the other. Cowboy Barry Carson was to other.
I remember
and
this,
I says to him, I says to the booker there, I think his name, what were his name? It was something Japanese. I'm pretty sure it was something Japanese, but then something in English. So I just called him Fred.
Fred. Okay,
Fred, I did.
Fred's-
I said, that's Fred. I don't know how to talk like not cowboy.
Right, okay.
I'm from Wigan. I don't talk like not cowboys in Wigan. And of course he said, hey, no one knows what you're saying anyway, lad. So just get in there with your whip and hold it like a whip and then take the pinfall. Because that's all you did.
Yeah.
That's all you did.
So how long exactly were you in Japan for?
Long enough
Give
for
or
the
take,
for the old dog wrestling thing to die down.
Yeah, your reputation kind of worked its way back, so you came home?
I came right back home to Blighty, and by this time, of course, what a sport we're going, because Big Daddy, you remember Big Daddy?
I remember
Big
Big
fat
Daddy.
man.
Who could
Big
could
Shell.
forget? Yeah.
Big Shell, he did not like anyone having other gimmicks.
No, right.
He were the only one there with a gimmick.
Yes, he
So-
was the big, loud character.
Aye, he were a character, and everyone else were just themselves. So I were Johnny Burt again.
Right, okay. So you had fun on World Sport then,
Oh, they was at the son. Took off after a while, yep. Never worked with big names near McManus's. Yeah, big stacks. Never worked with them,
yeah?
but...
Oh, but you did all right.
No, they used to call me Buster Johnny, they did.
Busted Johnny.
Buster Johnny, because
Do
every
I
night...
want to know why?
Every night, my face be busted wide open. Yeah, always thinking outside the box, mate. Saw something I like, weren't afraid to nick it. In fact, it's where one of my best gimmicks ever came from.
What would you consider your best gimmick?
Well, obviously, it has to be Swan Lake, which is...
So did you say Swan Lake? I don't remember this. Was this? This must have been before I was watching.
Oh,
you,
many
certainly.
years ago, lad. This was still back
Swan
when you
Lake
could get
the
round
ballet?
to country in England, and yeah, Swan Lake the ballet. No, Swan Lake the restaurant. What do you think, lad? Yeah, Swan Lake the ballet. Of course it was.
And you made a wrestling gimmick out of the ballet.
Yeah, here's a story for you, right? One night, between towns, me and Harry Blue Eyes, who was a blue eye, and I had blue eyes, funnily enough. Of course, he got glaucoma towards the end there, so they were kind of grey.
Okay.
Called him Gary Grey Eyes.
Yeah.
And he died into the ring as well.
Oh.
Because he
don't
were blind.
Oh, and he
You're
kept
not really,
wrestling anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to put a blind fella into the ring,
You
do
really
you?
don't.
But anyway, Barry Blue Eyes, we're into mining town somewhere up into hills.
Yeah.
Only place you could get a drink was to the theatre.
Right.
So we went to the theatre, Swan Lake were on. So we said, hey Barry, let's go watch Swan Lake. And you know what, son? Amazing.
It touched you.
Beautiful. Touched my soul in a real special way. And I'm not a man of emotions, like. Wouldn't see a tear one up my eye. Not when I were wrestling at dogs. Not when that bear were chewing on my head.
Yeah.
Not when that large Japanese man were having his way with me
But
back
Swan
in the
Lake.
country.
Swan Lake touched you.
It touched me in real way, it did. Even Barry Blue Eyes, he was sobbing into the seat next to me, and that might have been because he just killed a man 2 hours previously in the ring before.
You never know. Swan Lake's
But
very
it was
emotional.
very emotional.
Could have been either or.
Either or it could have been.
And so you decided to make a wrestling gimmick out of this.
This is what I did. I came out to the ring
Yeah.
in the white swan attire,
Yeah.
all dolled up in my white tutu, in my white wings, danced down to the ring, interpretive dance style. Usually took about 10 minutes.
I was going to say, if you're going to do this properly, it's not a fast-moving
Oh,
dance.
and you can say one thing about Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
Does the job properly.
Right.
So I did take my time dancing down to that ring, but halfway through the match,
Yeah.
I'd start to change.
To the Black Swan.
He's ahead of me. I do some proper heel tactics.
That's
Put to
incredible.
the eye, quick roll up, grab the tights, and then I'd strip down to my black leotard, put the black wings on, and I'd really work the crowd, I would.
That is remarkable that you took
great
something
idea.
from wrestling, took something from another art form and you brought it into wrestling. That's really admirable. And this got over. People liked it.
Christ no.
Oh,
Christ no. Hated it.
they didn't take to it.
I was once pelted with glass for 12 minutes straight
Oh.
in a working man's club.
What-
Shower glass down upon me like it was Sound of Music.
Well, what about the other wrestlers? The
Hated
boys in
it.
the back, as it were. They didn't like it.
Hated
either.
it.
Oh.
Despised, I'd say it were.
Oh. And how long did you stick with it? Did you stick
We're
it
only
out?
about the 7 weeks, but still.
7 weeks.
Most
okay.
artistically fulfilling 7 weeks at Laugh. Got to say.
So what was the final straw?
I were cornered outside bingo room in Rill where we were
Yeah.
doing show. And the lads, he stuck the blade to my neck and he said, that's enough of that, son.
Ah, well, fans, they can be cruel if they don't like something.
No, this worked at one of the wrestlers.
This was one of your fellow wrestlers stuck a blade to your neck.
And he said, that's enough of that, son.
Okay.
And I thought, yeah, probably it's enough of that. And I thought, he's probably right.
Yeah, I would
Probably
think
enough of that.
I would reach that conclusion as well with a blade to my neck.
And that's where I had to come up with a new gimmick.
Yeah.
Well, I took gimmick they gave me.
What was that?
Big Gay Jeff.
Big gay Jeff.
Big Gay Jeff. Of course, these were different times.
I was gonna say, yeah.
We're not that offensive about it. I still got to use the tutu, so I got my mileage out of my money on
It
that.
sounds pretty homophobic.
I'm not saying it weren't homophobic,
Right,
but
yeah.
homophobic went away back then.
Well, okay. If it's off the
I'll tell you
times.
something else. There were good money to be had in the sissy gimmicks.
The
you know,
scissor
people
gimmicks.
Were the sissy gimmicks.
Oh, sissy gimmicks.
People would come to the show just to yell stuff at you, like, don't get behind him. I know, they get a cheap laugh from the crowd, you know, and they'd say, like, nice dress, love, you know, stuff like that.
Well, as you say, and times do change. So talk to me about when World of Sport started to die out. Where did you go from there?
I was still wrestling.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to get a day job.
I was going to say, because there would have been less bookings.
There were less wrestling's around, so I had to get a day job as a milkman.
Right.
Ironically, here's another story for you. Martin the Milkman Lebowski, he set me up with a job as a milkman.
No kidding.
You were lactose intolerant.
He was lactose intolerant. How ironic is that?
You couldn't make it up, could you?
Well, could have been worse. You were the one taking the job. You could have been lactose intolerant.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, you are lactose intolerant.
Also, can't drive, so
So
it was our job.
I
Only did that for about a month or two.
I was going to say, back on track. This is about the time that American wrestling started making it big. How does that
Well,
affect
a few years
your
later,
daily life?
I was still bumming around the country, bits at Europe. But then America, booms, it does. With your Stone Cold Steve Austins.
Yeah.
And your Rock.
Yeah.
And your Triple A. Some of the fellas from my age, they had trouble adapting.
I imagine
Not
so.
me.
It's a completely
Tell you
different
something.
style.
David the Star Sitch-Finowitz.
I remember him. Yeah, big
David
star.
Star
Big star.
Sitch-Finowitz, yeah. He couldn't hack it. Poor sod spent every penny he had on some company called Rainforest or something to wear. Rainforest or Jungle, something like that. Where
Are you talking about Amazon? You're not trying to say Amazon.
that sounds right. Yeah. Went to work for this Amazon. He did. Some sort of other month actually. And you know what? I could see from his eyes he was unhappy.
So you eventually get to America yourself.
That's right. Aye. They were bringing over everybody.
How did you find it over there?
Well, the thing with you Yanks
Yeah.
is they were all full of the steroids.
Oh, they were all on the gear.
And they brought us over there, us English lads, so they could put us into the ring with the big steady out football lads.
Yeah.
Who couldn't put match together to save their life.
Right, and you'd never really been a steroid person?
Never been to steroids, never
No.
been into drugs, to be honest with you.
No?
I'll have a pint into the pub. After a long, hard road, you need to unwind, don't you?
Yeah, obviously, there's nothing wrong with that, no.
Someone's passing around to the spliff, I'll have a little tour.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that, it grows from to earth.
I suppose.
I never been to the toilet at the same pub and there's a fella honking on crack pipe, and I go, hey, rude not to. Be rude not to take a little honk on to crack pipe, wouldn't it?
Jesus, I didn't know any of this. And this would have been around the time that I started watching you. And I wasn't aware of any of this stuff.
Oh, I thought it was right clear, mate.
No?
No. Do you not remember that big show we did? I think it was Fight for the Night. 97 or 87.
97.
97,
yeah.
Fight for the Night. And who were I wrestling that night?
The Postmaster.
The Postmaster, Postmaster. And I was tripping my balls off that way.
You're kidding.
Because I was doing acid by this point as well, yeah. And I remember having absolute terror and fear because I was 100% certain our wrestling vision of myself from the future come back to warn me about all the mistakes I'd made in my life.
This is what you saw when you were in the ring.
Aye.
I'm telling you, I was watching this and I thought you were working a really interesting match all centered around your opponent's left knee. And you're telling me that you thought you were fighting a future version of yourself.
Did you not think it was a bit funny where he had me in a headlock for 5 minutes and I was just weeping uncontrollably?
I thought you were selling.
I was
you were
selling. I was
selling the
selling
pain.
genuine fear.
Oh, that's awful.
But steroids never touched him.
Okay, well that's...
Acid, crack, weed, booze, pills.
But no steroids.
No steroids.
That's sort of admirable, I suppose, in the right lights.
But could not get booked for Love No Money after that.
After the future self debacle.
Aye.
So where did you go after that? Oh, you went to Mexico, didn't
That's
you?
right, son. Yeah, went to Mexico. Down south to the border.
Because Mexico, wrestling's never out of style in Mexico.
No,
it's
sir.
the only place in the world that's stayed.
I got a call from Mark the Corpse McSweeney,
Yeah,
who were working a corpse gimmick.
yeah.
Put that together yourself, people at home, what that was about. And he says, you want to get down to Mexico? Because you can live like a king off a few pesos.
Right.
course, what he did mention is you could live like a king got a few pesos, good place with shithole.
Oh, you didn't enjoy it there?
Hated Mexico.
Hated it.
Hated people. Hated tit wrestlers. Hated tit country.
You didn't like the wrestlers?
Hated them. Couldn't catch little buggers.
They were small
Bouncing
and
up
fast.
tit ropes, and I told 2 tit ropes.
Lucha Libre style.
That's what they told me.
What character did you work down there? What was your gimmick?
Down in tit Mexico, I were Turbo Negro.
Turbo Negro.
A black robot gimmick it were. Well, hey, when's the last time you saw a black fella or a robot?
Well, never, I suppose.
You robot cop, white
Yeah.
fella. Universal soldier, you were a white fella.
Yeah.
Johnny Five, you were a white robot, weren't he?
If you say so. I mean.
Apart from fella into Johnny Five, who were a white fella, who were done up like an Indian lad.
Right, hang on. So you blacked up?
We're not racist about it, lad. Negro, it's a different word.
Right.
It means black.
Okay.
That's the word they use
So
for word
there was
for
nothing
black.
racist about it.
Nothing racist about it.
Okay.
Kind of became a bit racist as
Oh,
time went on.
I saw that one coming.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, they lived the gimmick down into country down to it.
Yeah.
So I had to keep the cardboard on
Because this is
and the blackface on.
over in Mexico, wrestling's 100% real.
100%. So I couldn't
Fans
get...
believe that what they're seeing is reality.
That's right. I couldn't
So
get...
you had to pretend to be a black robot outside in your normal day-to-day life.
That's right. I had to eat screws when I was out into public.
You ate screws.
Do the beep bloop whenever someone asked me a question.
That's unbelievable.
Couldn't get a taxi.
Couldn't get because you were black. People
Because
thought
I
you
was
were
black
a
and
black
I was a
person.
robot. And no one wanted out to do with either half of me. They didn't like to robots either
that
because
is
the robots were
fascinating.
taking to jobs.
So you didn't have a good time there. So
Hated every day of it.
how long were you actually there in Mexico?
Into Mexico. I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah.
there now, lad.
What do you mean you're still there? Like still in the wrestling business? You're like a trainer or
Oh, still
a
into ring.
You're still wrestling.
Aye, still wrestling at ring. They won't put me out on telly, but I set the ring up in the local shows.
Johnny,
roll around in there.
How old are you?
How old am I? 78 years old.
You're 78 years old and you're still actively
I can still
professional
go like
wrestling.
I went when I was 20. Better than when I was 20.
I thought this was like capping off your career, looking back,
Oh,
story
no,
from
still
beginning.
going. Stronger than ever.
I'm stunned. I can't believe that you're actually wrestling. I mean, realistically, what have you got left to prove? You've seen the world, you've wrestled, you've got great stories as we've proven here. You've written a book, a memoir. What is left for you in this business?
Stephen, I'll tell you what's left for me into business. There's one thing left for me to do before I sail off into the sunset. Call it a day. Happy with my career.
I assume you're talking about a Hall of Fame induction.
That foot and bear.
Oh, Johnny, no. The bear from the circus.
The bear from Tit Circus.
This is ridiculous.
When I'm not having nightmares about dogs, it's that foot and bear.
And you want to wrestle
In
the
my
bear
mind,
again.
every day, I've wrestled that bear.
You are 78
So
years
why
old.
not do it one more time with my actual hands?
Because it will kill you.
I want to announce something here on your radio show,
Okay,
Stephen.
it's a podcast.
That
Go
next
on.
month in Buckle Church in South Gloucestershire,
Okay.
me and the bear rematch at the century.
God. Yeah.
Me and the bear.
Yeah.
12 rounds to a fall.
Yeah.
One winner. I want to say something to you, bear. I know you're out there listening with chippy ears. Living in your bear sanctuary.
seen my
Like a
analytics.
coward. Like a
bears are
coward
listening.
living into bear sanctuary.
can't believe
I'm going to burn down your bear house.
wrestling.
And I am going to soil your grave, son.
Couldn't a wrestling interview on a